This is the first time in a long time that I'm seeing numbers similar to what I would see last year or 2 years ago. This whole year has honestly been a struggle, but finally I'm back to more than $350 of profit in 1 week, more than 20 sales in 1 week. I'm so thankful and so excited to share my sales with you. Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller, which means I do resell, obviously. I do the whole sourcing and taking pictures and listing and shipping and all that stuff. But my main job is as a high school choir director. So all of the reselling stuff I do when I have extra time. I've just kind of built it into my schedule at this point, and that is because it is a great source of side income, and I don't know, I cannot imagine a life without it anymore at this point. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about everything that sold for me in the week of November 18th through the 24th, and it was a great week of sales, and I credit it to a few things. First of all, I would say since I got back from my trip with my family to Hawaii, I have been super consistent about listing. So I've been consistent about listing, relisting on eBay, even going so far as to end listings on all platforms and relist them all again using List Perfectly. I've been really consistent with running sales on the weekends on eBay, not in this week of sales that we're going to talk about, but even after this. And although I didn't do this in the week of sales that we're going to talk about, I've even moved to running sales, if you will, on my other platforms as well, and that's been helping. So as good as my numbers are for the week that we're about to talk about, I think when I sit down to do my numbers for the following week, they're going to be even better, which is so exciting because like I said, it's really been a long time since I've had a week like this, I feel like. So very thankful. Let's jump right into it. So we're going to start by talking about the 18th of November, which was a Monday. And on this particular day on eBay, I sold this new with tags Talbot's red checkered wool blend pencil skirt in a women's size 8 petite. That I had words like preppy and classic in the listing title. That I got at a Plato's Closet of all places in April of 2023. So I've had this for a while. I got it at a really random place, but because I got it somewhere random, I got it for really cheap. I got it for $3. That's because no one is going to Plato's being like,
I hope they have some Talbots here.
It sold for $15.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. I'd had it for a while, so I was willing to let it go for that amount. It was promoted at 3%, and my net profit was $9.76. Also on the 18th on Poshmark, I sold this pair of New Balance 824 cushioned cross training shoes in a women's size 11. Whoo boy. Okay, so there's a story here. I had $8 into these. I got them at a local consignment sale that is run in my town about twice a year. So that's a little bit higher than I would maybe normally pay for shoes like these, but I got these, I want to say 3 years ago, maybe more. I'm not sure. I've had these for a very long time. And I think that they sold finally because I relisted them many times. And that's because I use a Chrome extension called Poshmark VA to do a few different things for me when it comes to Poshmark. I use it to share my closet, and I also use it to delete stale listings and relist them. I think it'll do up to 60 a day or something like that. So anything that's hit, I want to say the 60-day mark, it'll go ahead and delete and then relist for me. And so that's what happened here. Again, many times. These have been relisted many times, and they finally sold for $20. However, they sold to someone, I don't know, she was a lot. So I sold these to a lady on Poshmark, and maybe 2 days after she bought them, she messaged me and said,
when are these going to be shipped?
And I was like, oh, they went out yesterday. And she was like,
okay, can I have my tracking number, please?
I don't remember exactly what I said in response, but I was just like, I mean, I shipped them yesterday, but I did porch pickup, and sometimes they don't scan them when they're at the porch and putting it in their truck. Sometimes it gets scanned in, a few days later once it's en route and someone else scans it in. Usually my postal worker right now is good about scanning them in right when he gets them from the door, but especially if there's a lot of packages, sometimes he doesn't. He just brings them to the truck, and I notice that they don't get scanned in until it's been a little bit. So she was like,
I understand how tracking works. I just need the number.
And at that point, even before she had messaged me that, she escalated the situation to Poshmark. So when you have a conversation going in Poshmark, you can choose to bring in a representative from Poshmark to mediate and act as a third person. So the person from Poshmark was like, do you plan on shipping this item? And I was like, I do. I already did. It went out yesterday. And they were like, okay. And just as a reminder, now talking to the buyer, they were like, this person has 7 days to ship. So rest assured, like, we'll make sure that it gets shipped out to you. Otherwise, you can cancel the order. And the person was like,
I just want my tracking number.
and I was like, okay, I understand. But like, even if I give you the tracking number, nothing is going to show up on the other side because if they haven't scanned it in yet, you're not going to see anything. And then, I don't know, I finally just went and like got the tracking number and I gave it to her and I was like, just a reminder, like you can type this into USPS. But one thing that Poshmark is actually very good at is showing you the tracking information because it's just synced with USPS. So as soon as something shows up on USPS, you see it on Poshmark. And she was like,
I don't need you to tell me how tracking works. Look me.
like something along the lines of like, look me up. And I was like, what does that mean? Do you work for USPS? Like, I'm so confused. So I was not surprised to find that she left me a 1-star rating because I would not give her the tracking information. And like, as we were communicating back and forth, one thing that she said to me was, she was like,
I always give my buyers tracking information as soon as I ship the item.
and I was like, that's great. But again, you really don't need to do that because again, you're gonna get any tracking information that is available to you the second it starts tracking from Poshmark. So I don't know about you, but if someone were to give me tracking information, I'd be like, thanks, that's cool. And then I would never use that information because all of that information is already inside the Poshmark app. And I think that's when she was like,
Don't talk to me about tracking. Look me up.
and then I blocked her. And that was the very first time that I've ever blocked anyone on Poshmark because I was like, oh my gosh, this lady is probably going to like comment on all of my listings or I don't know. So when she left me her 1-star review, she did mention the fact that I had blocked her, but I was like, all of this for a $20 pair of shoes. Like, I guess maybe I could understand if I had sold her like Christian Louboutin shoes for like $500. Then I'd be like, sure, you want your tracking number? I can give you that. I can go to USPS itself and like peer in their windows and see if I see your box. Like, I'll do a lot for a $500 sale. This was $20. I don't know. Tell me if I'm missing something. Like, do you see something more with the USPS tracking number by going through USPS than you would Poshmark? I don't think so, but let me know what I'm missing. That was my first time blocking someone on Poshmark, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt good. Moving on though to the next sale, going back to eBay. I don't know why these like went back and forth in my spreadsheet, but on eBay, I sold this pair of Democracy Ab Technology high-rise cuffed skinny jeans in a women's size 6 casual. I picked those up in August of 2023, so I've had them for a long time, and I got them for $3.75. They were having some sort of clearance sale. They did sell for my full asking price of $24.99. It just took a while, and it took a lot of relisting. A lot of people swear by Democracy, only the jeans with like the ab technology. I made that mistake once of getting a regular Democracy jeans. I think they sold for like $8, but the ab technology I guess can do really well. I don't pick it up anymore though because it does not move quickly for me, as is evidenced by how long it took to sell this pair. But I did make a net profit of $18.83, and now I know I personally just leave Democracy Ab Technology jeans to anyone else who wants them. I am currently in my fitness era, my 8th one, I think. I think this is the 8th time I've tried getting healthy or just actively moving on a daily basis. But one of the easiest things to do is walk on a treadmill or ride a stationary bike while getting some work done. And that has been the best thing, is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get my steps in while listing items. So let me show you my new little toy that helps me do that so much easier. So thank you so much to Flexy Spot, who sent me this super cute pink walking treadmill. So right now I have it where the handlebar is down, and that's because I have it pressed up against my Flexy Spot bike, which I am using as a standing desk, because on the bike you can move the table up and down. So this is the perfect height for me. If I stand on the desk, I can do some work whilst walking. But there are so many really cool features about this. I can show you then how to get this thing up. So you literally just press it up, it snaps into place, and now you have this little thing here where you can place an iPad or a book so that you can either just watch, like a show or read a book while you're walking. And then you can see down here, you can see all of the information that you might want to know while you're doing your workout. You can see how long you've been working out, the speed at which you're going, how much distance you have covered, and how many calories you have burned. It's really lightweight, it's really small. You can tuck it in really anywhere you want. And it also comes with this remote control. This is how you get it to do what you want it to do. This is how you start it. This is how you increase your time. And then they do have different programs too, and it shows in the booklet, just like you would on a treadmill at the gym. You can do intervals where it just slowly kind of speeds up as you're going. I honestly just set it at like the speed that I want to go. I typically go 1.8. And I just have a nice leisurely walk while I am listing. Something again to help me get some steps in while I do some work. And it does come with a 2-year warranty and can support up to 267 pounds. So if you are looking to just move a little bit more in the coming year, I think that this is a great purchase. And you can find all of the information for it down in the description below. The last sale on the 18th was over on Poshmark. It was this Dakota green power bubble crepe shift v-neck dress in a women's size medium that I got in October of 2022. I got it at a local consignment store. They must have been having some sort of sale. I paid $1.60 for it. It sold for $22 on Poshmark, so I made a net profit of $16. But I no longer pick up this brand Dakota. Like, it's very rare for me to pick it up. If something is like amazingly beautiful, but I can't really remember the last time I picked it up. And it's because of sales like this. It's knowing that I sit on items for a long time and generally don't even make that much money off of them. But moving on to the 19th, which was a Tuesday, on Poshmark, I sold this pair of Sam Edelman brown leather penny 2, that was the style name, equestrian riding boots in a women's size 6.5M. I got these a year ago. I got them in September of 2023, and I just got them at like a local Goodwill for $6. But I got them because comps for them were so high at the time, I remember. And so I purchased them, brought them home, and must have listed them for around like $65. And I remember when I was doing a thrift haul video with these, someone was like, those are not worth as much as you think they are. And I was like, I don't know, that's what comp said. But they did finally sell. It just took a year, but they sold for $55. That was an offer that I got, which I very happily accepted. And I made a net profit of $38. So $38, not bad. I guess I can wait a year for that. Also on the 19th on eBay, I sold this new with tags Zoffel. I think that's like an Amazon brand maybe. I don't really know. But it was this peach floral string triangle bikini in a women's size 8. I put words like beach and pool and vacation in the listing title. That sold on eBay for $10. It was promoted at 3%. And I just accepted an offer because I didn't have a lot of faith in this item. I had $3.85 into it from a reseller buyout. So that was one of those where I didn't pick it out myself. It was just in my house because I had brought it home with all this other stuff from this reseller. I debated whether or not I should list it. I went ahead and listed it. I made $2.88. I will go to McDonald's and get some fries with that money, but yeah, that wasn't the best sale. Wasn't expecting it to be. Also on the 19th on eBay, I sold this Talbot's color block hooded raincoat in a women's size large petite. It was made completely of polyurethane, and this I got at a local consignment store during a 75% off tag sale in August. I had $8.25 into that. It sold for $41.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers. It was priced at $50, but I sold it for $41.90. It was promoted at 3%, and so my net profit on that was $27.95. And you're gonna see, we already talked about some shoes selling, some jeans, and this is a coat. So lots of those kinds of things, shoes, jeans, coats. It's a lot of that kind of stuff that sold. So you're going to see some more jackets and coats and stuff coming up. And then on the 20th of November, which was a Wednesday, I had a little baby Mercari sale, and it was by the brand Department 56, which if you get Department 56, like the bigger houses that you like plug in and they light up, like really pretty Christmas decorations. We have a few and I love them. Those can go for good money. And this was kind of like a sub brand under Department 56. The brand was Christmas Crinkles, and this was an ornament of a lizard. I don't know how many people are looking for lizard ornaments, but I got 2 of these ornaments by this same brand in the box from a reseller buyout. One was a lizard and one was like a violin girl. It was like a girl inside of a violin. That one hasn't sold yet, and the lizard did. So I don't know. And the lizard sold very quickly. It sold, I want to say, within a week or two of being listed. Maybe this is popular. I don't know. It sold for $6. I think I had it listed for $8 because I think this retailed for like $9, but I listed it maybe for $8. I do use smart pricing on Mercari, which means you can set a floor price and Mercari will drop the price little by little until it reaches your floor price. I think my floor price was $5. So before it hit my floor price, someone snatched this up at my full asking price of $6. I had $3.85 into it because that was part of a reseller buyout. I would not have purchased this myself. And my net profit was $2.15. So another McDonald's fries. Also on the 20th, I sold on eBay this vintage Ralph Lauren faux fur collar button-up jacket. There's another jacket in a women's size 8. That I picked up at a Goodwill about an hour and a half away in a town by this college that my students rehearse at and perform at for one of their singing festivals. So while they rehearse, I go thrifting. I had $7.99 into this and it sold for $35. It was also promoted at 3%. I think $35 was an offer that I got and I thought that was pretty reasonable. So my net profit was $19.82. Ralph Lauren is definitely one of my favorite women's bread and butter brands. It's just very reliable. It's not going to get me a second house or anything. I mean, it doesn't sell for that much usually, but it's a consistent seller. And I think it's just one of those brands that many women know how they fit in it. And so they feel safe and secure purchasing items by that brand. And I generally do really well with it. Also on the 20th on Poshmark, I sold another pair of jeans. This was the Levi's 505 straight leg medium wash blue jeans in a size 40 by 30. Those I got in a reseller buyout maybe during COVID, I don't remember, but I had $2 into those and my net profit, they sold for $17 and my net profit was $11.60. I do know that I've had those listed for quite some time. I've had those in my closet for probably 3 years, so it felt very good to get rid of them. And then moving on to the 21st, which was a Thursday. By the way, on this particular day, I took my choir students to go see Wicked. And it was so good. If you've seen Wicked, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like anyone that I see, I'm like, have you seen Wicked? And then I just have a conversation with them about it because I love talking about it. I thought Ariana Grande had so much to lose in taking this role. Like everyone had such high expectations for her and everyone was fully ready to like pounce the second that she didn't meet their expectations. But holy cow, did she exceed my expectations. Like I don't know. I was just like jaw on the ground so many times. And I was actively laughing out loud at her many times. Like she was so funny. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Cynthia Erivo, also great. It was such a good movie. I cannot wait for number 2. But let me know all of your thoughts about it down in the comments below because I just like to talk to people about it all the time because it was so good. But anyway, while I was going to see Wicked, I did sell on Poshmark this pair of Sanctuary by Anthropologie North Olt plaid ponte legging pants in a women's size medium. Sanctuary in general has been doing pretty well for me recently. This pair of pants sold for $25. I had $5 into them from a local consignment store. I picked these up in May of 2024 and my net profit was $15. I'll take it. Moving on to the 22nd, which was a Friday. On eBay, I sold this Garnet Hill taupe moto jacket in a women's size 12. It was made of organic cotton and I was sad by this sale. I think I just thought it would do so well, but you know, it was just cotton. Even though it's organic, it was just cotton. Had this been leather or even a faux leather, I think it would have done a lot better. Garnet Hill is one of those brands that it can do well for me, especially their dresses, I guess, and that's why I wanted to try like a jacket, like a moto jacket. Again, I thought it was really cute and stuff, and it was in a bigger size. It only sold for $24.90. That's an offer that I sent out to watchers just because it was not moving. I don't know. And I had it for so long. I got it in December of 2022 at a local consignment store, and I kind of paid up for it. I paid $12.50. So I was like, you know what? I need to just get this out of my house and make room for more inventory and just kind of remember that jackets by Garnet Hill, especially if they're just made of cotton, not really worth the pickup. Not if you're going to spend over $10. So my net profit on that was $9.49, but I also learned many valuable lessons. Moving on to the next sale, same day, same platform on eBay. This was a pretty good sale. It was this pair of Nike KD, Kevin Durant. I'm pretty well versed in the NBA. I'm going to say that that's Kevin Durant. 14, TB Wolf. It says Kevin Durant right in the listing title. Gray Kevin Durant high top basketball sneakers in a men's size 9. I'm not gonna lie, they looked like they were much smaller than a 9. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I got those in January when I went to a different location with students for a different festival. This was the All-State Festival this time, and they had like 3 days of rehearsal. So while they were rehearsing, I would go thrifting. This was at one of the Goodwills in that area. I paid $6.80 for these. They sold for $49.90. That was an offer that I sent out to watchers, and so my net profit was $36.90. You guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I generally don't like to pick up Nike shoes to resell because I'm just not good at selling Nike shoes. Like, I don't really know enough about them. I hate the amount of time that it takes to look up comps and stuff, but these looked really cool. They looked really interesting, so I just went ahead and picked them up. I think I was a little upset because when I got them home, I noticed there were actually more flaws on them than I had realized in the store. So while comps did look really good, they weren't going to be as good for me because there were, just like a few little nicks and stuff in the shoes. But I was very happy with my profit of $36.90. And that's another example of shoe selling. The next eBay sale was this John Varvatos blue 100% cotton crew neck sweater in a men's size small. That one actually sold for $31.49. That was due to a 25% off sale that I was running at the time. I had $5.99 into that from a local Goodwill I picked up last November. So I had that sweater listed for about a year, and I made a net profit of $19.34. John Varvatos is one of those brands that I know retails for a lot. I don't have the best luck with it. I haven't tried it very much yet though, so I'll probably still keep picking it up as long as I don't have to pay very much for it. But I don't know, just another example of a brand that retails for a lot but doesn't necessarily resell for a lot. Also on the 22nd on Poshmark, I sold this pair of new in the box Dance Go Live, that was the style name, slide on leather wedge sandals in the color sage. They were in a European size 39, which is like a US 8.5. Those sold on Poshmark for $42. I had $13.50 into them from a local consignment store's like 75% off tag sale. I got them in September and my net profit was $20.10. When I got those in September, I was like, I know this is not the season, but I'm just gonna go ahead and list all these kind of more summery shoes. They were clearance down for a reason. It was the end of the season and they were just trying to move out any last remaining summer pieces so that they could make room for their winter pieces. But I just went ahead and listed them as quickly as possible and actually sold through a lot of those sandals, so that made me really happy. On the 23rd, which was a Saturday, on eBay, I sold this Cod and Co Samba Muse Blue short sleeve V-neck athletic dress in a women's size large. This I got at the same consignment store. I got this at the end of August, however, and I got it during a 75% off tag sale. That sold for $19. I had $4.50 into it, and my net profit was $11.21. I probably could have gotten more for it had it not been for the fact that, I was running a 25% off sale. I think on top of that, someone sent me an offer based off of, the sale price. And I just went ahead and accepted it because I was like, well, if I don't take this offer now, most likely I'm going to have to sit on this until next spring. So I just went ahead and accepted it. Made a little bit less than maybe I would have liked to, but that's okay. And Cod and Co I still think is a pretty good brand to pick up. Also on the 23rd, I sold this 3rd Street, that was the brand name, University of Illinois, that's the college campus that I live like 5 minutes away from, collegiate Illini shirt in a women's size small. I got that from a friend of mine for free. It sold for $5. It was promoted at 3%, and I made a net profit of $3.67. So again, I had a sale running. Someone sent me an offer that was lower than my sale price, but I just went ahead and accepted because I have had this for years, definitely since pre-COVID. And it's funny because it sold to someone who doesn't live very far from me, which is often the case when I sell any Illini gear because I live in the heart of that college campus, and typically it's selling to other people on campus, which is kind of silly. Also on the 23rd on Poshmark, I sold this pair of new with tags, Judy Blue skinny fit leopard print lined distressed jeans in a women's size 3 or 26. Those sold for $34. I did have $10.05 into those from a pop-up consignment sale from 2022. So I've had those for a long time, and my net profit was $17.15. Judy Blue is a brand that I have cooled down on. I still pick it up, fairly regularly, but not for as much as I used to. So before I would be willing to pay up to $15 for them, maybe even more if they were new with tags. These, paying $10 for them in 2022 was still okay. I think these were just a little too crazy of a style maybe, but I'm just happy to have moved them. Also on the 23rd on eBay, at this point I was running a 30% off sale. So I think on Saturday and Sunday, I did a 35% off sale. And so I sold this pair of Crocs, the Mammoth pomegranate pink fleece lined ballet flats in a women's size 10. Those sold for $18.19. I had $4 into them from the same pop-up consignment sale, except this time the one from May of this year, and my net profit was $10.18. The annoying thing about running sales sometimes is I will sell things for pretty cheap, and I will have actually received a higher offer on that item maybe like weeks or months prior. I have gotten a lot of offers on these Crocs in the past and kept like countering them. And I'm pretty sure some of those offers were higher than the $18.19 that they actually ended up selling for. So that's just me being greedy, so whoopsie. But moving on to the last day of sales, which was November 24th, which was a Sunday. The rest of these sales are eBay sales, and that's because these were things that sold as part of my 35% off sale. But the first sale was this pair of Lands' End traditional fit brown pleated dress pants in a men's size 38. They were cuffed, and I got these way before COVID. Again, this was from a reseller buyout, and I had $1.02 into them. They sold for $12. They were promoted at 3%. I made a net profit of $8.43. Also on eBay, I sold this new with tags pair of Levi's 559 relaxed straight jeans in a men's size 34 by 30. They were in like more of a medium wash. So I got these from Reseller Supply Co., which is a company that's not brand new to reselling or the reselling community per se, but they're brand new to providing wholesale lots for resellers. I did an entire video where I got to visit them and meet them in person and tour their space. I will link that video right here, and I'll have it in the description below as well, so you can watch it after you're done with this video. And I also did an unboxing of some of the boxes that I got from them, and I have most of those things listed now, but I'll have that unboxing video linked here and down in the description as well. I didn't pay anything for those boxes. They wanted to provide me with some inventory so that I could show you the kinds of things that I got. I don't actually know how much it would have come out to had I paid for these. They ended up selling for $22.74. I think I originally had them listed for like $35. I definitely think if, I didn't have a sale running, they could have sold for more. Because I had no money into them, I made a net profit of $18.50. I have a lot more of these kind of new with tags jeans that I got from Reseller Supply Co., as well as a bunch of other stuff that will show up in upcoming What Sold videos. But that was, I think, my first one from them. So if you want to check them out, you can check out the videos down below. I also have an affiliate link down below that you can use to purchase maybe a reseller box for yourself, or you can actually even become a member, and that gives you cheaper prices on each box and a lot of other perks. So you can check all that out down in the description below, but I just thought I'd share that with you. The next sale was this pair of Coach Ivy sneakers in pebble black smoke logo leather lace-up shoes. I don't know, that's a lot of words. And they were in a size 7. Those sold for $38.99 because of my sale. I got them in late October, so they were listed for less than a month. I got them for 75% off, and so I had $7 into them, and my net profit was $24.77. And my last sale of the week was this Bowden Ella wool felted swing snap button coat in like a camel color in a women's size 18. This was another case where I just felt like this was gonna sell for so much. I think I had it listed for like, I don't know, probably $75 to begin with, but I think I dropped it down to like at least $50. It sold for my 35% off sale for $38.99. I got it in December of last year for $10 at a local consignment store, and so my net profit on that was $24.76. But you saw from everything that sold, lots of jeans, lots of jackets, lots of shoes. That's the kind of stuff that's selling right now. Sweaters have been selling well. So let's go through my numbers. I definitely sold the most, both as far as like number of items, but also amount earned on eBay, which is kind of the trend, especially with, the ability to run sales and stuff. eBay has just been kicking some major booty. So I sold 15 items on eBay for a gross sales amount of $506.08. My cost of goods was $78.65, and my net profit was $246.49 on eBay. And that by itself is more than I've earned in like 2 weeks of sales sometimes in the year 2024. So that felt really good. On Mercari, I had one sale for a gross sales amount of $6. Thank you, Lizard Ornament. And my cost of goods on that was $3.85. And so my net profit was $2.15. And then on Poshmark, I sold 7 items for a gross sales amount of $215. I had $46.15 into those items, and my net profit was $125.85. So in total, I sold 23 items for a gross sales amount of $727.08. My cost of goods was $128.65, and my net profit for the week was $374.49. That made me so happy to see that number and to know that with hard work and with Q4, you can post some really good numbers. So that's definitely been very motivating for me to stay consistent with my listing, with running my sales on weekends, and just staying creative with what I do in order to try and, get some more things out the door. So thank you so much for watching. If you do want to see more What Sold content, I have a playlist right here. Don't forget to check out those videos from Reseller Supply Co. down in the description below if you wanted to check out their warehouse tour or an unboxing of their videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.